People you meet in the bush, eh? This video is going to be about bush tucker. If anyone that knows me knows that I'm very interested in bush tucker.
I've always been interested in learning about bush tucker and wanting to teach my kids, as my family is of Aboriginal descent, and so that's something that has been lost through my family and something that I want to be handing down to my kids so they can hand it down to their future kids.
And we've been guided by the Les Hiddens Field Guide book.
You know, when we found out that Andrew Ucles was doing a tour up in the Northern Territory, we sent him out a message, and he doesn't usually operate in the wet season, but he was willing to fit us in early to go out for a adventure with him. He teaches survival in the army, and he is a wildlife and bush tucker expert. So we wanted to pick his brain and wanted to share a lot of knowledge with you guys. And yeah, we thought we knew a lot about bush tucker, and it was amazing to go out with him, and we did learn a lot. So we were pretty keen to share our adventures with you. And well, if you don't know Andrew Ucles, you probably would have seen him running down Australian animals and animals all across the globe barehanded, and he is one of the fastest people I've ever seen on land.
Definitely the fastest man I've ever been with in the bush. Yeah,
yep.
Good to see.
Yep, and he's got a Netflix series, but unfortunately it's not airing in Australia. It is airing around everywhere else in the world. But yeah, he's still got a lot of clips on YouTube, and he also has a series where he walks across the Arnhem Land.
Yeah, which is worth checking out. It's, yeah, you can only imagine how hard that would have been. She's a ripper video if you want to check that one out.
Yeah. So let's get into the adventure.
What do you reckon, Ucles? Up for an adventure today, mate?
All right, Church, what's on the agenda? How many donkeys are we going to catch? 1, 2, 3 donkeys? We've already got one here, eh? Big donkey right here.
Yeah.
Can we, what do you reckon? Can we ride a donkey if we catch it?
100%. I think what we can do is we can do one better. We'll ride the donkey, catch one donkey, we'll all get on it.
Yep.
Like, you know, Moses and
the donkey. And that can be Mary.
Yeah, at least I won't have to work.
Right, lead the way.
Yeah.
We're just keen for an adventure. That's the main thing for us. Yeah, and we're just after, if you can teach us about bush tucker, mate,
yeah,
that'd be
good,
good, eh? We love that sort of thing. Yeah. What do you reckon, Natty? And you're a bit scared of snakes.
Yeah,
so...
I know.
Really?
Yeah.
Hey, right.
So I used to hold snakes at school, but then as I've gotten older, I've just had so many encounters now with them. I just find them unpredictable, and I don't know how to read them, and that's why I'm petrified. Like, we're doing school with my daughter, and there was one went in front behind the computer, and Dan wasn't there what to do or how to get rid of it. I was freaked out. So I'm like,
maybe
you give me some ideas
today,
of like, you know, how to work it, or
I'll show you how I interact and engage them and all that kind of stuff. And generally with working with snakes is you got to be like relatively calm, because they work off your energy a lot. Like if you're jumping around and this and that, like they're really, because they're focused on that.
Yes, like I swore this was like a devil snake, and it's probably because I was freaking out.
Yeah, so there's definitely a way of working with them, but like once we're out there on the floodplain, also plenty of saltwater crocodiles out here as well, so we've got to be careful when we're walking and all that kind of stuff, so we'll be mindful of that. But the biggest danger, and I always tell everyone this, biggest danger out here is the sun. Yep. So you know, obviously you guys are pretty well equipped with what you
plenty
guys
of water,
do. Drink plenty of water and make sure we keep hydrated, and we'll have a safe trip. And hopefully we get some stuff.
Yep.
Big boar too, eh?
Big boar.
No, no big boars.
250 kilo. 250, nothing smaller than 250.
We'll have to work together maybe.
Yeah.
All right.
Righto, let's go.
Okay, everything's there. Water.
So you'll hear this name a lot, Chuchi, throughout the video. So I thought I'd get in and get an explanation of what that name actually means, so you can understand it throughout the video. What's Chuchi? How did you get that?
No, so it was a word that has been made up essentially to identify like mate or friend, you know, the same kind of context and used in the same kind of context sort of stuff. And to be honest, like a lot of the times I used to forget people's names. Yeah. Someone said their name, I just like go in my head. I just call people Chuchi. It's just like everyone's universal, everyone's equal, you know what I mean? Yeah. So, but yeah, but there's different frequencies of it. It's like, hey Chuchi, oh Chuchi, get out of the way! Hey Chuchi, get up a tree!
Oh, awesome. But, good one.
And that stuck with us. Alright, so I got some ice. What we'll do, we'll go get the jet ski, go get our camelbacks and stuff, and then we'll just try and get straight
Yep.
out there. I think because early morning,
Definitely.
we'll try and get that whilst it's nice and cool, because come midday, I think it's going to heat up quite a bit.
Yep,
And,
definitely.
See how we go, eh?
Yep. Are you gonna wear your running shoes today?
Them shoes, eh?
Yeah.
Don't worry about it, I'll be moonwalking with these ones, like.
Yeah, I know. It's flash one. Very flash.
Ah!
Let's go.
Don't worry about getting the car. I think, when it comes to dealing with your pigs, as you guys know, there's a great sense of smell.
Yeah.
Wind direction's obviously going to be everything. But in terms of their sensitivity, really it's going to be, if you're going for more like your plains game, like your deers and all that kind of stuff, that's where it's going to get more sensitivity in terms of like the movement of wind and what you're wearing and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
But generally for pigs, look, I think using the vegetation matrix to your advantage and getting closer to them, like pigs are incredibly aloof. When they're out here and they're doing this, you can literally, you've seen it before, you give them here's the paper bark tree from them.
Yeah.
And they won't move, so.
They're not in a, haven't been pressured either in the.
Well, exactly, yeah, and there's no real hunting stress out here for them, you know what I mean? Like in some areas, they'll just be completely switched and that's it. They hear a door close from 300 metres and they're off.
Yeah.
And they're like, just wait, I've heard that before, so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Well.
Who was it? It was a doctor from Catherine. I remember talking to him about it because every single year in the Northern Territory, a handful of people will rock up with it, particularly like the Indigenous guys because they're walking around, barefoot all the time. But I've always tell people, if you're going to be walking out here in the floodplain, be really, really careful, like, wear your shoes and all that kind of stuff because people do get it. And when it hits you fast too. I think it's like 48 hours and it can really make you crook, you know what I mean? And people have died from it before as well. And I think the way in which they treat it, I think it's IV of antibiotics. But if you don't treat it, it can be fatal, 100%.
Yeah.
From what I've heard...
Kidney failure, everything.
Yeah, from what I've heard, so this ground spore, it's inactive during the dry season, but as soon as it rains, it becomes active and it comes to the surface. And I've actually heard that you can sometimes see it like a white film. Oh. Not sure if that,
Yeah.
That's crazy.
Yeah, because I suppose being bacteria and...
100%.
Yeah, like an algae.
So, but I've heard it in cattle yards and all that kind of stuff before.
Yeah.
And it is a concern. I think out here, my biggest concern, because I've copped it before, is lepto.
Yeah.
When dealing with the pigs. Oh, yeah.
Yeah.
Right. Yeah. And
it almost cooked me.
Yep.
Yeah, proper cooked me.
The mice and stuff like, because like in the dry season you can smell the mice.
Yep.
And all the long grass and
Rats
everything.
and that,
And I suppose you get rats too.
That's the common birthplace of lepto is through rat urine. And I remember I caught that, and within, I think it took like 72 hours to take hold of my body. And by the time I'd got it, and I was in hospital, I could feel my body shutting down.
Wow.
Yeah, I thought I was going to die.
Yeah,
that was a bad one.
Freaking hell, it's just that.
A number of different uses for paper bark, right? So the Indigenous obviously used it for like tinder building for fire.
Yeah.
They used to use it for like shelter making as well, so like making like the house and the roof of the shelter. The other thing that they used to use it for, which I think is probably one of the best uses, is the way in which people usually get like hypothermia, like conduction of the cold and pneumonia and stuff, is actually through not convection but through conduction through the ground and getting cold through the ground. So it's actually one of the best insulets to actually sleep on to keep you up off the ground. A number of other different properties that they would do is they'd soak it in water and then cook like barramundi and like your sooty grunter and all that kind of stuff in it as well. So it's just like almost like baking paper, like their own sort of baking paper. And most importantly, if you need to go to the toilet,
Wipe your ass.
have to wipe your ass with. So yeah, look, paper bark has just so many different versatile things that can be used for, and also in preserving food too. You can wrap your meat up in it. And
How many wipes do you reckon you get out? It'd be pretty durable.
That one there, yeah. I reckon if you'd had some Mexican, that might do you. The other thing about paper bark as well, an important one, is wherever you see a paper bark tree, you know there's going to be water sitting.
Yep.
You know what I mean? Because paper bark's only thrive with this water. Like the Pandanus, have you guys seen the Pandanus tree as well? Generally there's going to be water sitting underground. So in any kind of situation up in the Northern Territory, as soon as I see paper bark, I just start thinking pigs. You know what I mean? In terms of survival. Because, you know, when you've got paper bark, you've got soft ground, it's like, you've got water. Where the pigs are going to be, they're going to be by that, you know what I mean? So, and it's really important, I think, in a survival situation to understand the different types of canopy structure around you and what canopies look like, because once you get really good at paper bark, you can see that from a really good distance, and the leaves have a really distinctive colour. So you might not be able to see water. There are other cues leading you to water, like early morning, late afternoon, watching where the cockatoos landing, that kind of stuff. You know, all the kinds of things that when you spend time out in the bush, all this subconscious information that you see, you're just downloading that information. That when you're actually in a situation of survival, all this subconscious information comes to the front. You know what I mean? And stuff that you might have just looked over something once, but your brain has still acknowledged that. You know what I mean? Like all these little cues.
Yeah, that's right. Especially with, like, isn't it, with kookaburras usually means movement or something, isn't it? Like sometimes it's just
exactly. And that's the thing is, like, with the Indigenous people, is they used everything around them in their environment to tell them the story of what was happening around them and how to move through the environment. So whether the magpie geese were doing something, or if the frill-necked lizards were doing something, or there was a flowering tree, everything was an indicator to something else that was happening around them. Because they weren't using time. You know, numerics, that didn't exist. Their time and the way that they viewed time was actually for the progression of nature around them.
Yeah, that makes sense.
Which is an interesting way of looking at the world, isn't it?
Yeah.
When you start thinking like that.
Yeah, exactly. Because that's what they're saying. Like all with the
stress-free. Exactly. So
that's cool. What? Turtle eggs. So do they lay on land?
Oh, it would have been wet.
Inundated underwater.
No, it would have, as it's dried up already.
Wow.
Your northern short-necked stacking turtle.
Yep.
Or your long-necked turtle.
Yeah, wow. They laid underwater. Okay.
Yeah.
It would have been with the Indigenous from bombing.
Bombed him out of the air. Big bird too.
Oh yeah, big bugger.
Yeah,
they use that bill just like a spear. Yeah, so I've caught barramundi before. I've thrown up there just to the bank, just to see what they do, and spear it again, and slap it, and spear it. Oh, unbelievable!
Yeah, aggressive.
Oh, they use it in that head, the way they do that, it's unbelievable. The amount of power that they get, unbelievable. And obviously, it's got a lot of meaning to the Indigenous people as well as a lot of storylines with the Jabberoos.
All you can hear is this wildlife in here.
But seeing one that close is quite rare. Reason being is the majority of the time they're on the open floodplains. Visual acuity, like most birds, is unbelievable. And they see it from a good distance and they're off. You know what I mean?
I know.
But
I can't believe it was
when you've got
right
this
there.
type of vegetation structure, in a hunting situation, if you're here, he'd have been so easy.
That's lunch.
I would have came, so talking Indigenous way, boomerang, I would have probably spotted him through two here. Now, there's only one of two ways that he's going to go. He's either going to fly up to that channel there, or he's going to come up through here. So essentially, you would have came in, put pressure onto it, and then probably would have been looking at that angle there, I reckon. And the good thing about going for a bird of such big size is, well, there's a lot of volume to hit. You know what I mean?
Oh yeah, hell yeah. And he would have tumbled down, and then it would have been hard to get.
And birds generally, their bones are hollow and quite fragile. So any kind of boomerang strike, Yep.
Jeez. So, wow, that's cool.
Yeah, the effect is solid.
Do you own a boomerang?
So, I've got a couple of them. I've got a good story for you too. I accidentally almost killed my father. It's a long story. It's a funny one, though. It's a plate for the next flapper. Goes up in the tree. So it's like part of the camo painting.
Right.
You know, with that colour. What I find interesting.
Wow.
I call it the pig tree, because if you rub your hands around it, it feels like a massage.
Yeah.
And whenever you've got these out there, the pigs always go to this first for a scratch.
Yeah.
Yeah, really. So, is this? Oh no, so that's that's the leaves up there. It's pretty cool, isn't it?
Yeah.
Yeah, that's cool.
Natural charcoal.
Yeah, natural charcoal, literally.
Get your war paint on.
I noticed that the Pandanus, which is growing low, the pigs will pull it out and eat the tubers. Have you guys noticed that?
No.
Yeah, I seen.
You'll see this, and it'll all just be scattered, and that's from the pigs getting into it.
I seen that the other day when we went on that floodplain.
This is one of the oldest dated trees, essentially going back to the Cretaceous period. You know what type of tree it is? Yeah, cycad. Yeah, it's part of the cycad family. Now, essentially, and you'll read this in the Bush Tucker book with Les Hiddens, this was essentially used as an emergency food only by the indigenous people. So when there was nothing else around, they'd actually consume these nuts. But the amount of preparation that goes into play to prepare these nuts is once they get to, you've seen them when they go orange and they start to fall.
Yep.
Yeah, so what they'd do is they'd pick them up, they'd mash them, they'd leach them through water. I think they've got to go through water for at least a day, and then you'd bake it, and then you'd run it through water again, and it's essentially a process of just trying to take out all the toxins out of it. Yeah, if you were to eat it raw like that, you'd die.
Yeah.
You'd knock over real fast.
It's got bloody arsenic in it.
Yes, yeah, that's right. Yeah. So,
Wow.
yeah, there's a lot of preparation that goes into play.
You'd have to be hungry, but I guess if you're hungry, you're going to fucking do what you're going to do.
Well, I've talked to a couple of indigenous people about it, and their honest opinion was you use up more energy in trying to prepare the bloody thing than what you're going to get out of it.
Yeah, so it's not worth something.
And in any kind of survival situation, or when you're trying to sustain yourself for a period of time, particularly if it's just you have to be so calculated with the amount of energy that you're spending. Fair enough, this is 20 people and you can orchestrate different duties and you go do this and you go do that. The energy is shared.
Yeah.
But if it's just you surviving, you need to find the most energy-rich components to survive off. Does that make sense?
Yeah, that's it. Yeah, that's true.
Exactly, that's right.
Gently pull it out.
Yeah, that's still going to be a little bit fibrous. With your much larger ones, you pull it out and you've probably got about that much. It's about that thick and it's proper. You know, it's like eating cabbage, but chew on the end of that. It shouldn't be too fibrous. Yeah, it is. Because it's a little
Do you chew and spit it out? Or
no, you eat it. You
eat it whole.
Your second favourite bush tucker.
Yeah. So what I've noticed about this is it actually takes a couple of years to develop like a resistance to toxins. Because if you eat it straight away, it can make you look sick. I'm joking. It's going to drop. It's probably a bit fibrous now. Yeah. But the bigger ones, when you pull them out,
so put down the bottom cabbage. There you go. Yeah,
essentially. Yeah. Yeah. So you just got to be a little bit.
That's not terrible.
Careful when pulling it out.
That'd be the hardest part with all the spikes.
Yeah.
And is it just the middle ones?
Yeah, just the middle ones.
And just eat it raw.
And you just eat it raw.
Wow.
You got to go for the much larger ones. This one's actually quite small, and obviously the higher that you go up, the more fibrous it's going to be.
Ah, yeah, so the bottom bit's the best.
It just tastes like cabbage.
Yeah.
And probably the same nutritional value as cabbage as well.
Yeah.
So,
wow.
Cabbage is a staple in most part of the world.
That's right.
Jeez. And we got told there's a male and female is the way they twist.
Yeah, so generally what happens, I guess this is a bit relatable to life, is the males are the ones that twist out to the left because it's like a dimorphic. The males are the ones that go to the left and the female ones that go to the right. And the way to always remember that is females are always right.
Yeah.
Buddy!
Too right.
You've heard that one before, right?
Yeah.
A bit like it's a big nut and it's got smaller chambered nuts in between them. Now when they go orange, they smell really good, like quite fruity. You've seen it before. You can break into the middle of them and it's almost the same equivalent of a pine nut. It tastes a bit like a cashew.
Ah.
Once again, the problem is it takes so much bloody effort to get to it. You know, you're hacking under machine trying to get to it.
One out of the tree last year.
Oh yeah, right.
We're trying to
you tried to get into it and
it's hard work.
Murderous.
Like it's just
Yeah.
I don't know. Like I just
It's
me
too
and
hard.
the kids were keen on it and I shot it out of the tree and then we were just
Trying to get the nut. It was really
it was a bit
hard.
too green too.
Yeah,
It wasn't
gotcha.
quite fucking.
The other one, so there is the other one that looks it's a circular one and it's got the spines on the outside. Have you seen that one? You cut that down the middle, so that's the one that you see on the river systems.
Yeah, no, I might have seen that one. Yeah.
With that one, you cut it in the middle and you can actually eat the pith of it. It's much better.
Easier.
Heaps
Easier.
better. Heaps better.
At least you just axe it, I guess.
Yeah, but the problem is that once again, it's so fibrous, it's so hard to get into. You're better off just taking it, soaking it in water, and then putting it in your tent to give it a bit of scent. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like that size, so you have well over a metre and a bit.
Yep.
But down lower.
So you can
pull
pull
that
straight up.
Yeah, you can get more bang for your back.
Oh yeah. See all dipsy on the ground.
Conditions definitely weren't on our side today. We could see plenty of pig sign around, but the paddocks were literally full of water, so the pigs could have been anywhere.
It's so pretty. And the water's so clear on the edge.
Let's get pretty soon.
Yeah.
I'll go in your back.
You first.
Very pretty.
It's beautiful, isn't it?
Yeah, it is.
He'd been out to this fishing spot for heaps of time, and he thought to himself, like, same crocodile, but anyway, it was a 3 metre fucking crocodile. He had a scar on his nose, it was completely identifiable, right? And so what they'd done was they thought, okay, this would be the perfect one for an experiment, because every single time you used to go there, every single dry season, this crocodile was there. And it was noticeable because they had the scar on the nose, it was a small crocodile. And so in the wet though, he couldn't find it, but he must have thought to himself, I get 400 or 500 metres down or whatever, or maybe a kilometre down max or whatever.
Because I thought they were territorial for a kilometre or something.
Right.
Yeah.
So they put a transmitter in it, like to find out where this creature was moving. And mate, the distance it would travel would be like 150, 200 kilometres. Like throughout the wet season, we're going to all different estuaries and up here and there.
Yeah.
But every single time before that place had dried up, it would come back
Wow.
as a GPS. So
Jeez.
they travel.
Wow.
They got bloody. I wonder if that's just like where they were born.
It's like,
Have you ever seen them out in the paddock?
I've seen them, like in here. And you're probably thinking,
Oh.
no way you get him in there. I've seen 3.5 metre crocodiles, crystal clear, you would not think there'd be one in there.
Yeah.
100% of them.
Wow.
I almost got caught out.
I remember seeing a video that you did with a tour and you're like, it was laying on the bottom on crystal clear.
Oh yeah, that was a while ago.
Yeah,
that
yeah.
One. But
A
there
couple
was
years
one
ago.
that I'd done out here on station, and where we left the car,
Yeah.
there's a beautiful crystal clear stream like this. And I remember I was walking through there, and then all of a sudden, I just saw this big salty up on the bank, and I was just like, "You've got to be kidding me!" And I couldn't believe it. It was shallower than this, crystal clear, and it was a river that went for about maybe a kilometre into the bush. You just wouldn't think it.
Yeah.
There was a big, massive salty sitting up there, and I was just like,
Far out.
they just pop up.
Anyway. Might have been an owl or something. Yeah, so what was it? The echidna story, if some people had dogs that are called echidnas.
Where was I? I was out in, was it Roma? No, Richmond. I was out in Richmond. And there was a guy out there, and he was like, "Oh, come, we're going to go do some pig hunting." So we went on the back of his car, and he was a brolga. And he was quite good at what he did.
Yeah.
But what I found comical is throughout the night, we ended up finding like 12 bloody echidnas because the dogs were picking up on the echidna smell.
Yeah,
Apparently there's a chemical that they release which is very similar to the pigs.
Oh.
It's like a sour on heat.
Is it?
I don't know. I don't know what it was. I just thought it was quite odd. Every single time he'd be
Yeah.
like, "Yeah, no, we're onto one," and then the dog would run into like a wood pile.
Yeah.
There'd be an echidna there. Like, okay. I said, "Well, it's good if you're after echidna."
Yeah.
Yeah, I thought that was interesting.
I've seen it 100 times too, and then
Yeah.
I'm always pretty down. I just think it's going to get sour. But I think it's like sour on heat or something.
So yeah, back there I smelt boar and we had a look and yeah, there's more there. But yeah, I'd say when we come here before, when we done a video, could have been bedded down and snuck off.
Probably about 6 weeks early, that way.
Yeah.
They can get a lot bigger, don't they?
Oh yeah. So they get decent size, and then we get the little things that come out of it.
That's Kakadu plum.
Yeah.
First or second highest vitamin C level in the world, I think.
Yeah.
Maybe.
Yeah. Pretty crazy.
But not ready.
Yeah.
You can try it. There you go.
Second favourite bush sucker.
Your second favourite?
No, not ready.
No.
6
Rock hard.
weeks.
Yeah.
6 weeks there, mate, I reckon.
Lemony.
Yeah, six weeks and 21 hours.
I've had a couple of close calls with them over the years.
Oh, Jesus, cane toad.
Oh,
and a little gecko, is it?
So you guys know with the cane toads you can eat them? Yeah?
Really? Yeah. True. Oh my goodness.
Yeah, so he will be. Yeah.
So is that a defence mechanism?
Yeah, that's what I'll do. Have you guys ate them before?
No.
Would you guys eat them?
Oh, not today.
Yeah.
Okay.
It might be adventurous.
Too much beef out here, bro.
So when I was doing the trek across Arnold, man, I was actually consuming these. And you're probably thinking, what would everyone do that for? Well, it's easy food to come across. It's a food seller at the end of the day. Well, think about it, it's such a big population. As soon as you get to like a small little a bit of water, that's what you're going to be finding them. So it's meat. And the equivalent of meat that you're eating, you know, there's a little bit of meat there, but you catch like 20, 30 of them. You've got yourself a decent feed. So the way to actually do it and prepare them, so this is called parotid gland. Okay, but the toxin goes all over the body, but the majority of the toxin comes out of here, the parotid gland. It's called the bufu toxin, right? You've seen that. It's like the milky paste and all that kind of stuff. You ingest that, not good. It's probably going to knock you over. I have heard of dogs licking it. And all that kind of stuff. But essentially, I don't even muck around. I get a knife, cut it through, kill the toad, pull the back legs out like so. I'm cutting straight across. The pelvis, boom, straight down. And I'm trying not to stress the animal out. I'm trying to do it as fast as possible, because as soon as you start stressing them out, that's when they start releasing the milky toxin.
Shit through them.
So I cut straight across, and then what I do is I skin it inside out, and then I cut, once it's skinned, I cut here, wash it under water. You might even want to, where that running water was, put it in your hat, because your hat's like a natural filter kind of thing. You go and catch like 20 or 30 of them, and just run it through the water.
Wow.
I'm going to be honest.
Chicken.
Better.
Really?
Yep.
Wow.
Yep. So I do prepare them for the guests. And the way that I cook it is I cook it with a bit of coconut oil and garlic.
Wow.
And I mash up like the cashews and all that kind of stuff.
Better than barra? Maybe.
Nah, barra's pretty nice.
Fair income, that's a big call.
So, but it is very important that you do it in a particular way, only because you don't want to be consuming any of that toxin. But I'll be honest with you, people would look over that in a survival situation. I hate to say it, but that's probably the first thing I'd look at, you know, you got your pigs out there everywhere. Okay, you're still going to take a bit of energy catching a pig. At night time, you go to a place, you catch 20, 30 of them, you've got yourself a feed. You've really got to start thinking, how do I get energy inside of me?
Without exerting energy.
Another thing is, I've tried using gut content, I've tried using the meat, trying to catch other things. Nothing will touch it.
Really? Wow.
Everything's been burnt.
Now, walking at night time, on a cool night, starting to walk at say 9 o'clock at night and walking to 3 o'clock in the morning, and I measured it, 15 kilometres. It's hard going, obviously, because doing anything at night time is going to be harder. But I reckon I drunk under maybe a popper and a half.
Really?
So like 400 mils of water. So compare that, 400 mils to 4 litres.
You know so you're better off. There's thousands.
The indigenous used to use turkey bush, and if you smell it, it's quite pungent, the smell. They'd put that in the fire, but they'd also rub it all over themselves. What does it smell like?
It's got that smell, eh?
It smells like citronella.
Must be the fucking same chemical, I bet.
Oh, wow.
There you go.
That smells...
And the turkey bush is really easy to identify, because in a couple of weeks' time, you'll see a purple flower come through here. So,
it's a
bit of indigenous.
That'd be a good one for the kids.
Good setup.
We seen a good boar, but unfortunately he seen us first, and I wasn't fast enough on the GoPro. He was a good 70 kilos.
That one was a bit too big to chase though. Holy, I don't know, I think my GoPro took too long getting on. Too big to take on. True.
We'd have to have a go.
Oh, 100%.
We were mostly aimed to spot a mob with sows and suckers, which were more likely to catch, because they'll stand their ground and fight due to having little babies around.
I know. Geez, it was pretty in there. Like it was like a little oasis. And where that bull was, he was hanging around all them that pretty little lilies, and it looked like it'd be 100% have a big croc in it. Looked like one of them like, you know, when you think of the territory, that's what you think of in there.
100%, yeah. You know that scene? I can tell you what inspired it. Remember the scene in Crocodile Dundee where she goes to fill up the lantern? And the crocodile comes out and grabs it?
Yeah.
That scene was actually inspired by, I think there's an Aboriginal guy. I met him on the Daily River. And he had a scar that was like down the side of his face, with the skull. Essentially what happened was, I think it was like back in the late 80s or whatever it was, early 90s. He was putting water on his head in Billabong.
Yeah.
They're doing some hunting. Anyway, he managed to somehow arrest this croc and let go, but one of the teeth got lodged in his head. He ended up having to go to hospital and removed. But apparently, what was happening was they were actually filming the movie Crocodile Dundee in the territory at the time.
Wow.
And then Paul Hogan actually wanted to go meet someone who had like a crocodile attack. He wanted him in the movie.
Yeah.
And essentially that's what inspired that.
Crocodile comedy.
Yeah.
Wow. That's pretty cool. And it scares us all too when it happens.
Oh, and I've chased pigs out here, and I've chased them into water, and I've seen them get taken by crocs.
Really?
I've just been like, oh.
Holy dooly.
Because I was kind of on the edge of, you know,
I'll get
chasing them. Yeah, exactly. Because you get in that mind frame of, you know,
Wow.
Yeah, and they just pop up.
Bring out. That was scary.
Water's landmine. You don't know he's there until
you're
on top of it.
Geez, he's fast. Oh, wow. Holy dooly. Wow.
You're okay, mate. You're okay.
Yeah,
You're
buddy.
Okay. Settle down, settle down, settle down.
Wow. Look at the colour of him.
Yeah, buddy, he's a big dog too, eh?
Right. Stunning, eh?
Wow.
Absolutely stunning creature.
Yeah.
This time of the year, you'll find like all that humidity and all that kind of stuff.
Yeah.
In the dry, you can literally be out here all day trying to find one. You won't find one at all. You know what I mean? Yeah, real difficult to find.
Yeah, I wonder where they go with that. Wonder where they go over
Canopy.
Ah.
Yeah, canopy-based species. Yeah, they get up behind the canopy and you won't find them.
Yeah.
Wow.
I know as soon as
yeah, look how sharp the claws are.
Oh,
you know,
wow.
like,
You're insane.
yeah, proper sharp claws.
Wow.
Gorgeous. So one of the defense strategies that they do, so they've obviously got the obvious one of like with a frill, but they're more like of an inconspicuous species. So you saw how he took off, he went straight to the tree. Now naturally what they'd be doing is if you were walking through like the bush, they'll actually stick to one side of the tree, and as you walk, they'll keep going on to the other side. So essentially using the tree limb as a form of like protection, you know what I mean?
Wow, that's cool.
But yeah, you can definitely tell that they're built for climbing trees because yeah, look how sharp the claws are.
Holy.
Yes,
man, you're mad.
You got to get to them quick because once they get up into the canopy,
I know, geez.
you'll lose them.
I think today's fastest land animal that I've ever come across is definitely Ucles. Holy dooly, you're fast.
But it's funny because a lot of people when they see these guys, the first thing they relate it to is Jurassic Park.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, wow, he is cool. And he's calmed down now, like what you're saying with like being calm.
What colour is he under?
So it'll probably like a blackish kind of colour.
Oh.
Charcoal.
Oh.
Charcoal colour, okay.
You're alright, buddy.
Oh, geez, I can hear your skin tearing.
So just that edge. Smell that. What are you reckon about that smell? It smells pretty amazing.
Wow, it does.
Yeah.
That smells really nice.
Yeah, it's got a, I don't know, I can't say I've smelled it before.
Yeah, a bit different, eh?
Yeah.
Wow. And so we didn't film it earlier, but that's the Aboriginals' way of transporting fires.
Yeah. So they had a couple of different ways. So those Pandanus pumps that we're walking past today, you see some like the older ones, the ones which had been snapped off.
Yep.
So essentially what they would do is they'd also carve out like the pith, and they'd drop like a hot coal into that and carry it almost like a bit like a torch sort of thing.
Yeah,
Wow.
And that was another way of getting from point A to point B.
Yeah, because it would slowly burn still too, wouldn't it?
Yeah, so, you know, the indigenous people was all about conserving energy. That's what it was. You know, everything was like almost like an energy bar game and trying to just conserve energy. And you can imagine for something like this, as strenuous as it might have been in the wet season trying to get materials to start a fire, once you'd eventually got a fire going, then, you know, it's something that's just going to be something continual. You know?
Yeah,
So it's mainly the wet season where they really struggle, I guess. So it makes perfect sense. Like
definitely.
So imagine trying to light a fire where we were today. Should be bloody.
Yeah.
Be a nightmare.
Proper difficult, Oh, you've seen it now. It's one of those things that once you see, you can't unsee it. Like whenever you see them on a tree now, you'll be like, interesting.
It'd be good one to show the kids.
Show the
kids.
kids.
Yeah, definitely. And I won't show too much of the soil stuff because we don't want to give his whole show away. And that way you got to come here and book a tour and learn with the survival. Definitely book it in. You won't regret it.
you've obviously used
Yeah, well, that was pretty cool, learning a few different ways to start a
from
fire. Yeah.
Right. Shame
Definitely.
everything's absolutely saturated and wet at the moment.
Nah, it's awesome. Definitely got some life skills now. Feel like I can tackle on a bit of fire.
Your bow and arrow, mate.
Yeah. Pretty cool. Such simple but genius ways to start a fire too.
That's proper amazing, eh?
Good place to end out, eh?
Yeah.
In the bush, trudging all day, and then you come here and get a
Reef and beef.
some reef and beef.
I know. Geez.
Awesome. And the view.
I know. Absolutely amazing.
Yeah, it's a good way to finish the day off, that's for sure.
Yeah. Hell yeah. Cheers. Had 10 hours with Ucles and we learned a lot along the way, and walking and hearing all of his stories from his adventures in the army and walking through Arnhem Land and chasing animals all over the globe. It was well worth it, and if you're on a trip up this way, book a tour with him through the link below.
Righto, mate. Thanks for the day, bro.
No one died. No one got heat.
No one died, no one got hot.
It was wet out there, though.
It was nice, wasn't it?
We could have literally, where we went, we could have took a jet ski.
I know, but that was
All the way
cool.
around.
Seeing all the waterfalls too,
but,
natural places we could actually swim with no
It's
crocodiles.
beautiful out there.
Seeing
Yeah.
the ground.
You saw a frilly. Hey, that's an icon. That's a territory
Yeah,
icon
and
out there.
we're seeing a big boar
And
too.
a ball. Yeah,
Yeah.
it took off.
No, it was
Yeah.
prime,
He was
mate.
pissed off when
Thanks
he
for
took
the thanks for taking
We
us.
had
That was
fun.
bloody. Yeah.
Yeah, definitely.
Till next time. I'll
Until-
see you guys up here again.
Definitely.
We'll go ocean. We'll catch ourselves a dolphin. We'll catch ourselves a Monday.
What did dolphin eat like? Oop. Oh, yeah. I think they're in tuna, but yeah. Righto, thanks, bro.
All right.